Oh, I'm so mad. Alright. First things first. Boo. I'm gonna have a special treat for you guys, alright? Check this shit out. Oh, we're gonna turn down the volume, don't worry. We have a few things to do to get ready here. Not least of which is heart cam. Alright. So we have heart cam. Now, let's take a look at this volume, shall we? Let's go to right about there. Okay, I love you, Colonel Sanders. A finger-licking good dating simulator. What's our name? Our name is obviously Paul. Come on. What the hell could it possibly be loading, right? You sleep softly as the morning sun casts a warm glow through the window of your modest student apartment. The world is peaceful and serene. You could stay in the moment forever. Or you could wake up now. Your first day of culinary school is no time to sleep in. Smack that clock up and at him, or throw the clock out the window, stay in bed forever. You scared the shit out of me. What the fuck? Why were you peering over like that? It's a finger-licking good dating simulator. You slept through the school year and gave up on once-of-a-lifetime opportunity to meet Colonel Sanders. Is that game over? Oh, okay, we're done. Easy game. Alright, let's move on to something else. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we read this. I think it will put me up here. I hope that doesn't, like, take up... I'm trying to kind of move to where that arrow is. Up and at 'em. Let's go. Lying in bed, you stare at the ceiling, thinking about everything that awaits you at the prestigious University of Cooking School Academy for Learning. That's the stupidest name for a school ever. Your mind begins to wander. Who will be there? What time will you cook? Or what will you cook? What should you wear? Time begins to fly by and you find your imagination getting away from you. You allow yourself to daydream a bit, thinking about the future. It's here, finally, your first day of culinary school. So many dishes to prepare. So many students to meet. Your mind is swimming with possibilities when you realize you're running late. You grab a biscuit and burst out the door in a hurry. Mmm, delicious. Just what you needed to wake up those taste buds. What the fuck is this? Oh, that's the menu. Yikes, you're in such a hurry, in fact, you forgot to put on any deodorant before running out the door. You're sweating buckets as you rush to arrive on time. Uh-oh. Standing in the quad, you gaze upon the magnificent University of Cooking School. University of Cooking School Academy for Learning. Here comes your lifelong best friend forever, Miriam. She's the most adorably awkward person you've ever met, and you absolutely love her for it. Good morning, me. Are you excited for the first day of the rest of our lives? Actually, because I sure am. Excited, a little nervous. Okay, a lot nervous. It's just that this morning I made breakfast for myself, but, well, when I ate it, I couldn't taste any love in the food. What if I'm no good? What if I fail? Classic Miriam. Raised by master chef parents, she's always held herself to a very high standard. Ever since we were little babies playing together, you've rescued me from that quicksand box. It's been clear to me that you're the most loving, caring person I know. You're going to do great. But with University of Cooking School Academy for Learning's famous 3-day only semesters... 3-day only semester. I'm afraid of being left behind and never catching up. A sweet girl, Miriam has always had a flair for the dramatic. This summer, she got so nervous about her first kiss that she chipped a tooth practicing on a mannequin. You should pep talk her, or should you pep talk her or change the subject to give her some relief? Change the subject. It's hard to see Miriam like this, and frankly, quite exhausting. Rather than dwell on her anxiety, you try to change the subject to something more interesting. All summer, you've been hearing rumors about a dreamy, enigmatic mystery student who's enrolled at this school. Yeah, that's a little worrisome, but you'll be fine. And what about this mystery student we read about on the school message board? Any new deets? Oh, get this. I heard his name is Harland, and he's no ordinary student. They say he has powers. He's had them ever since he was born. From an egg. An egg? Like a chicken? Don't be ridiculous. But that thing about having powers, it would line up with some of the other rumors I've heard. Like, I heard he once fought a bear with just his smile. You both sigh thinking about a student so handsome that the laws of physics don't dare apply to him. Dreamy. Before you can get another word out, you're rudely interrupted when someone smacks your books and custom engraved measuring spoons out of your hands and onto the ground. Hey! It's... Ashley? Ashley, I guess? Your arch rival. She's totally evil, but you can't help be filled with jealousy. And she can get anything she wants, and she knows it. Hello, Ashley. Oh, I didn't see you there, chicken shins. You leave Paul's shins alone. They're perfectly normal shins. Ugh, you can't stand Ashley. Even her name is annoying. You know for a fact that's actually Ashley, but she added the extra letters to make herself feel better than everyone. If anyone here knows what perfect shins look like, it's us. We're not going to let you or your really weird insults get to us. Across the quad, you see Ashley's best friend, Van the Man. God damn it. Has stopped to look at his own reflection in the mirror. His pants are so tight you can see him casually working out his glutes while he styles his hair. No lie, they're rockin' glutes. Ahem, Van. You rang? Fuck. You've never been sure of what their arrangement is. You rang. But as long as you've known them, Ashley and Van have been just as close as you and Miriam. But substantially more devious. I can't believe that University of Cooking School Academy for Learning would ever allow people like you to attend as students. I know, right? You'd think they'd just hand us our diplomas now. Or maybe hire us on as professors. You amateurs could learn a lot from us. With the first day of school about to start, there's just not time to properly tell these two off, so you resist the urge. Let's go, Miriam. Psh, see you later, losers. As you approach the door, you see a goofy-looking kid pushing hard against the window directly next to it. Oh, great. Oopsie. I think it's broken. You reach forward and easily pull the door open. That should do the trick. I love you. I think you mean thank you? My name is Pop. I was named after my Pop. He's old. Could someone like this also be a student at the school? He must be one heck of a chef. Also, his name tag clearly says Bob, but I guess he's reading it upside down. Okay. Hi, Pop. I'm Paul. So, you're going to make me hold this door all day? Nope. And with that, the young man walks into the building ahead of you. Is it just me or is he kinda cute? I think it's just you. You both shrug your shoulders before following him into the building. You stand at the edge of the room, unsure about where to sit, where other students wander in and keep themselves busy chit-chatting. A scruffy-looking pooch takes his place at the podium at the front of class. Adorable. Now, quiet down, everyone. Who is this unreasonably cute pup, and why is he in our culinary class? You must be Sprinkles, head instructor and CEO of UCSAL. Please, call me Professor Dog. I may be cute and little and fluffy, but I still demand respect. Woof. What? A cute dog is our professor? This is the best school ever. I guess only a dog's nose is capable of picking up all the nuances of fine dining. Out of nowhere, wind begins to rush around you as a swirl of cherry blossom petals fill the air inside the classroom. I'm chilly. Someone closed the window. And then, he walks in. You're immediately swept up in the aura of this new student and his remarkable goatee. Who knew anyone could be so handsome? Time stands still. It's him. It's... If it isn't my favorite student, Harland. Colonel Sanders interrupts Sprinkles. Sorry, Professor Dog, before he can finish his sentence. Please, call me Colonel. Colonel Sanders. A hushed murmur rolls through the classroom as Colonel Sanders walks down the aisle of desks. Suddenly, the room is sweltering. Sweat begins to beat across your brow. You feel like everyone is looking at you, and you're not entirely wrong. And over here must be sweaty, sweats a lot. Maybe we should open that window back up before Faucet Pits melts into a puddle and evaporates entirely. You both know my name. We were in the same kindergarten class. And what is with all your really weird insults? You turn to find Colonel Sanders standing right in front of you. Colonel Sanders, beautiful angel that he is, stands before you, smiling gently, his hand outstretched. Boy howdy, this classroom gets hotter than a Kentucky... Boy howdy, this classroom gets hotter than a Kentucky fryer. I should not be doing that. That's gonna be real bad. Please, use my handkerchief. Fucking Christ. You freeze up. Colonel Sanders is talking to you. Wait, Colonel Sanders is talking to you? About how sweaty you look? You're completely mortified. This can't be your first interaction. What if he never forgets this moment? How will you respond? Take the handkerchief. You stretch out your hand and Colonel Sanders places a fine silk handkerchief in it. It's so beautiful. You hesitate to press it to your face, but when you do, the feeling is transcendent and has his natural scent on it. It smells of the most delicious chicken you've ever smelled. Professor Dog steps in to settle the class down and set some ground rules. Welcome to University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, the greatest culinary academy in the world. The birthplace of culinary legends past, present, and future. Many challenges await you. There will be tears. There will be blood. There might even be really adorable tiny food. And when all is said and done, there will be a battle. You will lift your sporks and compete in the broom cooking arena. Just then, another student enters the classroom and interrupts the professor's rousing speech. Hi guys, sorry I'm late. I hope everyone had a good summer. I really miss... Quiet. Late to class is bad enough, but interrupting my monologue? You're on the fast track out of here, young man. Are you sure you're even in the right place? Don't you recognize me? This is my 3rd year in this school with you as my teacher. Everyone stares at him blankly. Does no one remember me? You're expelled if you utter one more word before I finish. Let that be a lesson to you students that tardiness is unacceptable. Even Clank made it here on time, rolling halfway across town on his tiny wheels. You turn to see the student Sprinkles is referencing, who appears to be some sort of industrial kitchen appliance. The class bursts into laughter. Okay. Oh, Clank, you rascal. Sprinkles walks in the classroom as everyone stands in silent obedience. When he gets to you, he lifts his nose in the air and takes a deep sniff. Your diet is lacking. Based on what I'm picking up here, you definitely need a multivitamin. You should be taking better care of yourself. You've never had a talking dog as a teacher before, but Sprinkles' reputation for being smart but tough is well known. Hey, Homer. You decide to try to butter him up by giving him a treat from your pocket, but what kind? I mean, this is a fucking KFC game, so chicken snack. You reach beneath your apron and return with a chicken snack in your hand. Sprinkles' eyes go wide as he locks onto it. His favorite. Well, well, well. I think there might be some competition for new star student. The furry professor immediately devours the snack, leaving your hand slick with a coating of warm doggy drool. You see the other students eyeing you jealously, but pay no mind to them. If they wanted to succeed in life, they should have learned the importance of carrying a range of dog treat flavors on them at all times. Settle down, young chefs, take your seats and prepare to have your minds open to the amazing possibilities of culinary creation. As everyone rushes to claim their favorite seats, you're left standing at the front of the room. Only 2 options remain. Hey, Paul, there's a seat over here. It seems no one has claimed the seat next to me, if you're interested. Oh. Chat, who do we go with? Do we sit by Colonel Sanders, or do we sit by our best friend? Best friend? Homer, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Do we really like Colonel Sanders at this point? I mean, he's the most handsomest at the school. Also, I'm gonna move myself back down here so I'm not covering up faces by accident. So we're stuck at an impasse here. I need somebody to make a decision. We have one for best friend. We just met our best friend. That's not true. Kind of. What does he have that our best friend doesn't have? Probably a huge dong, I would assume. You sit with your friends in the mess hall, not your superior officer. I want Senpai to notice us. You move to take your seat by Colonel Sanders. It appears he brought no books, pens, or pencils. However, his perfect upright posture shows off a seriousness that makes you confident in his desire to learn. Thanks for offering me this seat. I've only had 2 rules. Do all you can and do it the best you can. It's the only way you ever get that feeling of accomplishing something. That's so inspiring. A little off topic if you ask me, but okay. As soon as you've said, I keep wondering if I should do some like terrible southern accent that I know I can't do. Like some terrible like southern drawl, but I just can't do it properly. As soon as you settle into your seat, the professor makes an announcement. Think fast, time for a pop quiz. Yay, a quiz about me. Pop, you suck. You're an idiot. This incredibly important and surprisingly short quiz will tell me if you're ready for life at culinary school. Keep your knives sharp and your focus sharper. Here comes question 1. If train A is traveling to point B and train B is traveling to point A, how important is it to wash your hands before cooking? Extremely. That's right. Forest is to tree, as chicken is to a slam dunk? Feather. I should probably... No, we're trying to get good grades. Stop being the class clown, Zeiss. Sit your ass down. What's the most efficient eating utensil ever created? A comically oversized fork. A spork, obviously. What food is best for a broken heart? Camel meat. A pancake that looks like a silly face. Anything as long as it's prepared with love and not too much salt. That's right. Is Sprinkles a good boy? No. He's a talking dog that teaches culinary school. He is the best boy. And yes. That's right. Your total score is 5 out of 5. Perfect. Be honest, did you cheat? You look up to see Colonel Sanders has been watching you tally your score. He's impressed. I know we just met, but I have to confess. Sorry. I think you have a beautiful brain. Oh my god. Senpai noticed me. Hot diggity, Paul. You scored some major Colonel Sanders points with that performance. May I have your attention, students? I have an important announcement to make. Time for lunch. Wow, the cafeteria is as nice as any restaurant you've ever eaten at. It makes sense that a school dedicated to cooking would also be serious about eating. A delicious fragrance wafts through the air and tickles the end of your nose. Your mouth waters. Do you smell that? That must be our lunch. It smells crazy good. Everyone, can I have your This kid... Oh my god. I'm sorry. I don't want to say it, but... No, I'm not going to say it. Is it about lunch? No, I wanted to apologize for my tardiness. What is this kid? No, he doesn't look like the villain. Drop it. I'll talk about it after, if you remind me. Howdy, folks. I'd like to make an announcement. Oh, shit. The Colonel's gonna speak. Hey, it's about lunch. Everybody cheers. But shh. Lunch. She said shh. In honor of the new semester, I've prepared something special to share with everyone for lunch. That must be the smell I smelled. Indeed, that smell. You hold your breath, waiting to see what food this mysterious student has created. You heard he's very talented, but were the rumors true? Is this? Colonel Sanders lifts a large bucket above his head. Its contents glimmer in the light. Piled high are huge pieces of chicken, breaded and fried to a crispy golden finish. The aroma envelops? Envelops is how I usually say it, but for some reason I read that as envelopes and it threw me off. The aroma envelops you and you begin to feel warm and safe. Colonel Sanders has filled a bucket? With chicken? What a novel concept. Your stomach begins to grumble as if to say, stop thinking and start eating. For years, I've been developing a secret recipe for the perfect fried chicken. By my calculation, nothing less than 11 herbs and spices are required to achieve the perfect balance of flavors. You look around and notice every other student has a pen and paper and is scribbling notes as fast as they can. But that's all I'll say about that. You think we want your stupid secret recipe, dude? Pshaw. Nah, my dude. Nah. I'm just, drafting a last will and testament in case, one of those ingredients is, poison. Got him. He looks around nervously to see if anyone else is laughing at his sick burn. You wait to see what Zingner Ashley has prepared to follow up, but she suddenly takes a different approach. Yeah. And I was just, like, writing in my diary. Dear diary, today I smelled something beautiful. I knew at that moment that only the hands of a true gentleman could fry chicken so tender. You see her body language change from bitter and evil to sweet and innocent as she slides closer to Colonel Sanders. She realizes that he is destined for greatness and fame with cooking skills like this. She wants him all to herself. Oh, please. Well, Van the man, if you don't want any, I'll take his. Whoa, hold on. I mean, I guess I'll try it. He takes one bite and his eyes grow wide. He starts contorting his face as he tries to hold it in pure exhilaration and act unimpressed. Easy now. There's enough for everyone. Please, my fellow classmates, dig in. You take one of the pieces of fried chicken out of the bucket and sink your teeth into it. It's amazing. Tasting Colonel Sanders' food transports you to another dimension. Alone with your taste buds, gripping a drumstick in your hand, you float weightlessly. So, here's the thing. I hate fucking KFC chicken. I think it's absolutely disgusting. So, yeah. Let's try to identify every flavor. You let the food rest in your mouth and focus on it, scrutinizing every flavor. Salt, maybe? Pepper? Too obvious. Oregano? Basil? Maybe, but there's something else. Something dark, something spicy. You dig deeper, deeper, deeper. Yes, even deeper still until you find it. Could it be? He really did it. How bold, how adventurous to use blank. Oh my god, you know what I need? I need like a beep sound. Is there like a beep that I can do? Hold on. Beep sound. Instant sensor beep. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh my god, that's kind of funny. Stupid beep. MSG? I mean, totally, right? Like, legitimately MSG. You try to go even deeper in the sea of flavors, but this revelation alone is more than you can handle. You snap out of it and realize this information was meant to remain a secret, and yet, now you know. A mantle of responsibility now rests upon your shoulders. You look around, you realize everyone in the room is consumed by the lunch. No one even knows that you travel through space and time. I just want to change something here, hold up. What happens if I unfull screen it? Does it, like, break everything? No, it doesn't, actually. Color me somewhat surprised. After tasting his food, you try to get some one-on-one time with Colonel Sanders. Also, I'm covering up chat here. Oh my god. Okay, now I can see chat. After tasting his food, you try to get some one-on-one time with Colonel Sanders. You approach him. Colonel Sanders smiles ever so softly as you approach. He stops what he's doing and allows you to break the silence. Colonel, I wondered if I could talk to you for a second. Anything for your fellow chef. What exactly was on that chicken? Ha ha ha, how bold to come out and ask. It's an... the fuck? It's an idea I had for a new combination of flavors that will make me my fortune and establish my legacy for all time as I open a chain of highly successful fried chicken restaurants. No big deal. It's just you and me. It's just you and me here talking. I can keep a secret. In fact, I got some of my own I'd be willing to trade. What's the rush? The semester is only getting started. We got two more whole days to get to know each other. He's clearly not going to give it up easy, but it doesn't hurt to be persistent. You know what they say about secrets, Colonel. Shouldn't learning be fun? Aww. You got moxie, I'll give you that. Colonel Sanders looks both ways to make sure you're truly alone, then leans in. You can feel his warm breath as he whispers. Just one ingredient, but you can't tell. I use... It's something my great-grandmother taught me. Wow. You never would have guessed that. In fact, you're not even sure where you'd get some if you searched. And definitely isn't the flavor you tasted before. So now you're 2 ingredients closer to knowing the full recipe. But you don't tell Colonel Sanders that. While you're wrapped up in the huge revelation, you notice that Colonel Sanders has disappeared. While everyone else is in the cafeteria, you decide to look for him. You find Colonel Sanders outside, standing in the quad. Oh, it's you again. Howdy. Sometimes I like to come outside and look at the school buildings. I think about how my story will continue on after I've graduated. It sounds like you have big plans. I dare say the biggest. I will leave my mark on this world, you can bet on that. Alone together for the first time, you figure now's the perfect moment to show your personality to him. Nag him to show your own strength. Wow him with a big idea to add an additional ingredient to really spice things up. Be modest, but thoughtful. I think we have to wow him with a big idea, right? Right? probably. You know, about that. I was thinking about your secret recipe. I don't doubt it. It has a way of leaving an impression on all who taste it. Boy, you can say that again. You decided to show them that you also know a thing or two about blowing minds with new flavors. I actually had some thoughts on how you could improve it. Improve it? You want to change my secret recipe, and you think you can do better? Have you ever heard of habanero peppers? Heard of them? I tend an entire garden of chili pepper varieties. Habanero, poblano, cayenne. But that's not the point. You can't just toss in new ingredients into my secret recipe and expect to improve it. A recipe is about balance. It involves careful consideration and refinement. I didn't mean to. Let this be the last time you improvise on my recipes. I'm headed back to class for the next lesson. Well, that certainly didn't go as planned. You better head back inside, but you wait a moment so that Colonel Sanders doesn't think you're desperately chasing after him. You step inside the massive cooking arena where the afternoon lesson will take place. Each student gets an oven and all the tools and ingredients they could need. Look at this place. It's magnificent. Finally, we get to show our stuff. Wait a second. Oh no, we have to show our stuff. What if I totally blow it? You're not going to blow anything, except maybe kisses to the crowd of fans you're going to earn with your signature adorable tiny food creations. Welcome, students, to the cooking arena. For today's lesson, we'll be cooking with partners. Hurry and pair off. Naturally, Miriam looks over at you, but you're unable to control yourself. You pounce on Colonel Sanders. Hey, Colonel, would you like to tackle this lesson as a team? A team of two, that is. Me and you, if that wasn't clear. Aw, Miriam. Want to be my partner? Sure, I'll prepare our station. Without you as a partner, Miriam is left standing all alone. Two different students quickly take notice. Hello, new partner. Then beep boop. Bzzz. Oh my, two potential partners. I'm so sorry, gentlemen, but I don't know who to choose. It looks like you'll have to pick for her. Friend duties can be a little awkward, but that's the price you pay for not being alone forever. Boy, I was fucking that up. Who do you want to ask to be Miriam's partner? I think Pop is a complete fuck up, but as somebody who is also overweight, I can tell you this man knows his food. Sorry, Clank. I think Miriam will be partnering with Pop today. Oh, look at the sad robot thing appliance. Pop gives a big smile as he steps up to the same station as Miriam. I'm a chef. He holds up a banana and, without peeling it, proudly eats the entire thing. It's disconcerting, but Miriam is too kind to act grossed out. I love your enthusiasm, Pop. She looks at you like, really? This kid? But it's too late to change your choice now. Now it's time to focus on your own cooking classwork. Alright, you two, for today's lesson, we're going to keep it simple. Pick a basic dish and divide up the steps. No chef is an island. It takes 2 flints to make a fire. You get the idea. What dish do you suggest to your partner, Colonel Sanders? A steak tartare seems easy enough. It's fancy. You don't need to cook it. Using octopus will blow Colonel Sanders' mind. Your grandmother's mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh gee, I wonder which one Colonel Sanders would make. I've always been something of a down-home chef. I was thinking we could make something warm, inviting, and comforting. Maybe mashed potatoes and gravy. I couldn't imagine one without the other. Colonel Sanders casts a coy look at you, causing your whole face to go beet red. Embarrassed, you quickly turn away. I'll go get the potatoes. No, please, let me. Picking perfect produce is a passion of mine. Looks like things are getting pretty fresh around here. Does someone have a crush on Colonel Sanders? We're just cooking partners. Mind your own business. Sanders' heart is my business. You better keep your fingers off my man. Does someone call for me? Ugh, no, geez, Van. While I'm over here crushing Paul's dreams, you're supposed to be taking care of our classwork. That's the deal, remember? Colonel Sanders returns, arms full of peeled potatoes. He tosses them into boiling water and turns his attention to you and your old friends. Oh, howdy there, Ashley. Van, are we working in a quartet instead of a duet now? Actually, no, it looked like Paul was struggling, so we offered to give them a hand. You know how it is. These young amateur chefs need a lot of mentoring. I was going to say, Colonel Sanders, maybe I could teach you a thing or two about fancy food. Maybe one day you might be able to get up to my level. Ha! Doubt it. Don't be rude, Van. Personally, I have no doubts whatsoever about Colonel Sanders' ability to concoct creations worthy of admiration. After all, your fried chicken was quite spectacular. But, Colonel, if you ask me, I might make a better partner for you than this thing that has positioned itself at your station. Don't you feel deep down we could cast complementary shadows? We fit together like a thigh and a drumstick. It just makes sense. Nothing about this makes any sense. But one thing is clear, she's coming for Colonel if you don't watch out. Ashley is going at you really hard. You need to ask for some backup here before things get ugly. Turn to Colonel Sanders, hunk of hunks, in your time of need. Turn to Miriam, your forever bestie who always has your back. Oh boy. I don't think Miriam's going to be very happy with us. Alright, let's do it. I'm here to learn and express myself via my cuisine, not bicker with prima donnas. Partners were chosen at the beginning of class, so let's respect the format, okay? You turn to Colonel Sanders to confirm that you're on the same page. I chose Colonel Sanders, and Colonel Sanders chose me. Isn't that right? A businessman respects all fair agreements, from contracts to handshakes. I took on Paul as my partner for this activity, and I stand by it. Based on your team's behavior, I'd say you're perfect for each other. Neither of you has Paul's natural talent or their loyalty. Being defended by Colonel Sanders leaves you feeling proud and full of potential. You look for Sprinkles in hopes he might step in, but he's nowhere to be found. Darn those cute corgis and their short but sturdy stature. You look down at your station and realize that in the tension of the moment, your hands have been cooking on autopilot. Distracted by the drama, you've already crushed the boiled potatoes into a perfectly creamy mashed texture with plenty of butter and cream for flavor. It's as if your natural passion guided you through the steps you know so well, while your attention was elsewhere. I know just what to do. Colonel Sanders extends his hand. He's holding a beautiful white porcelain gravy boat, out of which pours a smooth brown gravy, smothering your nearly finished potato dish. Gravy flows down the mound of mashed potatoes. The results look spectacular. Granny would have been very proud. Colonel Sanders holds a spork out to you. You reach out and grab hold of it, but he doesn't immediately let go. The two of you stand holding the same spork, and for that small moment, all of the madness and pressure in this crazy world stops. Your eyes lock. The moment is electric. Time stands still. If you love something, set it free. Together, you dig the utensil into the mashed potatoes and lift a heaping sporkful up. When you see Ashley with a sinister look, you know she's plotting against you to be with Colonel Sanders. And then, filled with rage and without thinking, you fling the sporkful of mashed potatoes right into Ashley's stupid, beautiful face. Van, do something. Scooping up a fingerful, Van tastes the dripped mashed potatoes and gravy and realizes it's delicious. Horrified by this revelation, he slinks away. Will he ever be able to cook something with so much love and integrity? Hold on right there, Paul. We do not waste food in the broom cooking arena. Colonel Sanders, I expect better from you. If you throw one more spoonful, you both better be prepared to eat it from wherever it lands. Can I has potatoes face? Van Roche's back over, a covered dish in his hand. Mashed potatoes with gravy? Pathetic. In just a few moments, I prepared a full meal. Gaze upon my specialty, braised tentacle of octopus in my silky saltwater sauce, plated on a battle axe blade forged by my supreme chef ancestors. You've ignored me for too long. That ends now. It is I who will have the first bite, and you will all look on with envy. The interrupting student rushes at Van and swipes a bite of his signature dish right off the plate. No, don't. Something about this dish doesn't strike my nose quite right. I think the octopus was rushed and may have turned in the process. The results could be toxic. Too late, it has been eaten. I think I left something in the oven. I don't feel so good. It killed him! Everyone step back. Don't take another bite. Oh my god. When you look back at the plate, the rest of it is gone. You notice the tip of the tentacle being slurped up in Pop's mouth. Pop winces in pain for a moment, then is almost immediately back to his oblivious self. Oopsie. Tastes like poison. The entire class gather to watch Pop's final moments. Shock has frozen the whole crowd. They are motionless as statues. The class bell rings, disrupting the moment and snapping everyone back to reality. It would appear that Pop's enthusiasm for trying new things, despite obvious danger, has inoculated him against poisons of all kinds. I'm not sure the professors here make enough money. Hello? I just turned into a ghost over here. Seeing that you're shaken up by that really annoying student and all his nonsense, Colonel Sanders approaches you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Please, let me walk you home. What the fuck just happened? What? Like, for real? Oh, come on. You follow Colonel Sanders out of the room. At night, the school building has taken on another vibe entirely. It's dark and more than a little spooky. Colonel Sanders stands in the quad's neon glow and speaks softly. Those mashed potatoes you made in class today. Before you go on, I want you to know they're not a great representation of my skills. I didn't even realize I was making them. They were amazing. Tasting them, it reminded me why I became so passionate about food to begin with. Colonel Sanders is getting choked up. Cooking is obviously important to him in a way that you find inspiring. Now might be the perfect time to tell him you're developing feelings for him. Colonel Sanders? Yes? There's something I need to tell you. Hold it right there. There's something I need to tell you first. Oh, jeez. You see, when I was just a boy, I had a dream that one day I would be the greatest chef the world has ever seen. And every day since, I've been working towards that dream, day and night, never stopping, never resting. Also, lifting a lot of weights, like so many weights. We should follow our dreams with all our hearts, so that our souls may grant them like wishes floating on a shooting star. Hey, no, you, shut up. I'm here to say the inspirational stuff and be the star of the story. Are we forgetting that your cooking literally killed a guy? You can't prove that. I also saw you kill that guy. What was his name? Somewhere in the distance you hear a long, sad sigh. Forget him. We're talking about me. Me. I'm the hero. The spork monster is here to fight a hero. What is going on? I think I left the fridge door open. Later, nerds. How dare you threaten me as I was just letting down my guard and connecting with another chef on an emotion level. The strong sigh in the distance, that's you. That definitely is you. Be afraid. Be very afraid of me, because I'm a monster. See? Is he rhyming on purpose, or is that just a coincidence? But before you can discuss syntax any further, it's a turn-based fight sequence. What will you do? Attack. You decide to go on the attack. Which attack will you use? Cook with love. Cook with love does 1 damage. It just got real. That attack really upset Spork Monster. Spork Monster goes on the attack. They spit hot gravy at you. You take 1 damage. You decide to go on the attack. It worked last time, right? Cook with love. Does 1 damage. Spork Monster won't forget this. Spork Monster is really feeling threatened by your attack. Spork Monster focus their mashed mind and draws in energy from Mother Earth itself. They grow larger and more intimidating. How will you respond? Attack. You decide to go on the attack. Which attack will you use? Cook with love. Cook with love does 1 damage. At this rate, the semester will probably be over before this fight is. Spork Monster is no quitter. Buffed up and ready to rumble, they go on the attack once again. Spork Monster uses utilitensile. Utilitensile? You take 2 damage from the attack. If you take much more damage, you're not going to survive the battle. Attack. You decide to go on the attack. Again. Cook with love. Cook with love does 1 damage. Spork Monster is oozing cheese sauce on the lawn of the quad. I wonder who's going to have to clean that up. Feeling vulnerable, Spork Monster prepares for its ultimate attack, Rounded Edge. Vile villain, your reign of terror stops here. Colonel Sanders summons the energy of 1,000 chickens. Pot Pie Power Pinch! Pot Pie Power Pinch does 10 damage. Spork Monster is defeated. You saved me. An injured Spork Monster spews steam into the night. Forget mercy. Finish him. No student will ever walk the quad in fear again. This monster messed with the wrong chef. You ready your final attack. You'll never survive my student debt loan destruction. Oh. That's too real. Too real. Student loan debt destruction does 10 damage. Spork Monster is completely vaporized. Colonel Sanders looks on in awe. You continue to surprise me. The defeated monster left behind a special item. It appears at first to be a cookbook, but upon closer inspection, it's much more. It's a book of magic spells with a golden chicken on the cover. You open the cover and find a library card tucked inside. The last name to have signed it out is Borko. Borko? That name sounds strangely familiar. Your blood is pumping as you stand in the quiet of the night, holding the mysterious book in your hands. As you come down from your battle buzz, you realize that your final attack has left you completely depleted. The world around you begins to fade away. Without any energy to keep your eyes open, darkness overtakes you. The image of Colonel Sanders flashes before your eyes as you fall asleep. He must have helped you get home. In your tired state, you don't know if you could have made it without him. What a guy. This chicken poster in the background, by the way, amazing. Also, what band is this over here? You want to thank him, but you don't have the strength to utter a single word. You feel that your cover is being pulled over you as you're tucked in tightly. Good night, my Colonel. In your dream, you're together with Colonel Sanders. For some reason, Sprinkles is also there, instructing your love. Dreams are weird. Well. Is this the most gamey game I've ever played? It's kind of getting there. You wake on day 2 and attempt the process the wild visions you had. Were they memories or premonitions? You lie in bed and stare at the ceiling thinking about the secret you discovered while tasting Colonel Sanders' cooking yesterday. You can't believe he really used... And then there was that secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he already trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the Spork Monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might be, I think I might like Pop. Like him? Like? I know, it sounds like I'm moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. Like him. We got to talking after class, and he's actually a totally sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders enlisted in the army when he was only 3? Not only that, but he founded a special unit of super soldiers who all wear the same hats just because he put a hat on one time and thought it looked cool. But Colonel Sanders doesn't even wear a hat. He wears a ribbon tie. Either way, maybe it'd be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders? The coolest guy in school? The most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School Academy for Learning? You're a thing now? We definitely connected yesterday. Ah ha ha ha, sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into you? I guess. Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, then why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Oh no. This is where the love story takes a twist. However, you don't tell her that you know the second ingredient too, which you've discovered on your own. Your bestie's eyes light up. A secret ingredient? Yeah, I just said that. A secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden where I was wandering. This can't be good. He told me about his passion for spices. Secret spices. The man even gave me some to show me what he meant. He said that it was a powder created from super duper rare dried flower petals, and that if I did him a big favor, oh no, I could have some of my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. He was so nice, he even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with him, a very strange feeling came over me, and the flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Whatever. Anyhow, we both share an interest in cooking, so we stayed in touch, you know, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about new spices. Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe, and besides, I only know one ingredient, so I doubt it'd be much use to anyone. Please, 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 it would mean so much, it would mean the world to me. No one has to know it came from you or from Colonel Sanders. What do you think? Should you protect Colonel Sanders' secret or share it? Make up a fake ingredient. You quickly think of a fake ingredient name. I don't know. How about... It was Eye of Newt. I know, sounds like some kind of witch's potion, but what can you do? Eye of Newt. Wow. Her eyes light up, imagining such a thing, and you figure that you've satisfied her curiosity and she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone that you can't see, and that's probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in. Cherry blossom petals fill the air. It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at school. Of course he's on a horse of some sort. Stand back and admire his majestic glory. Colonel Sanders' horse is truly a thing of beauty. Without ever acknowledging that he's being watched, he does a short horse dance before dismounting with a flourish. He then slaps the beautiful creature gently on its rear, sending it running free into the countryside. You're so struck by the sight of him that you lose the ability to speak coherently. Oh, I didn't realize anyone was watching. Don't worry, he knows his way home. You attempt to compliment Colonel Sanders, but the words don't come out exactly right. What a horseful butte you have. I mean, what a horseful butte you have. Dang it, that's what I just said. Being a good friend, Miriam attempts to cover for you. Oh, Paul just gets really nervous around people they like. What? This is not helping. I mean, they got food poisoning and were up all night. It was gruesome. You should have seen it. She gives you a wink and a smile as if to say, situation handled. Can't blame a girl for trying. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you can see your two rivals, Ashley and Van Van, are doing something bad. By the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. Like counterfeited recipes bad. Experimenting with restricted ingredients bad. Summoning a demon bad? You try to get a peek over Van Van's hulking shoulder, but he sees you coming. Whoa there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? Tell them to stop acting immature, or act like you're not interested, but really try to get a closer look. That's the answer. You sit near the rivals, but leave your back turned to them. You even hear Van Van mutter something that sounds a bit like a magic spell. However, he notices you eavesdropping. You try to cover your tracks and improvise an excuse. Ahem, it's time for class and you're distracting the rest of us who want to learn. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules? I'm not sure you know a good meal if it ate you. Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache. And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil. You finally get a look of what they were hiding. You instantly recognize it. It's a book, just like the one you found after your encounter with the spork monster. That's the same book I found last night in the quad. Ashley immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom and its contents are secret. You notice that they haven't been studying the book. They've got Pop pinned to the... They haven't just been studying the book, they've got Pop pinned to the wall, and they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. We're playing. The Before you can dig any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Beep, beep. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Bzzz, womp. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such a language, not even from a stand mixer. Womp womp. No, your mother was a stand mixer. We're bzzz. Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know this is a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourself. Save it for the arena, at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on. Maybe I can help you with your business plan. Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car all around town and my tiny legs are very, very tired. Okay, that got me. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn. Rub his furry dog belly, he loves it. After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken. You want to pay attention to the lesson. Truly, you do. Which is why in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken who first signed their name. But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. When you come to, Sparkles is holding a tray of food right in front of you. Well, Paul? Naturally, this appears to be a sample platter. Which item do you want to sample? Oh, you knew I would be playing it. You knew. Probably the pepper. Brightly colored pepper stands out from the other items. It sparkles in an eye-catching way, so naturally you reach out, grab it, and eat it right away. However, your body's not prepared for the heat. The pepper has triggered an intense spice hallucination. It feels like forever as you trip through the universe. My friend, ooh. This guy again? I'm here to give you an important message. Oh, you must avenge my death and fulfill your destiny. All you must do is... I was saying, to fulfill your destiny, all you must do is... Sorry, I think I still got some spice caught in my throat. It's fine, I'll work through... to fulfill... the prophecy. You feel yourself begin to regain consciousness. Oh man. You come to and find everyone is staring at you. That pepper was the last of its kind on Earth and now it's gone forever. The last of its kind on Earth. You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention. We all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you. Someday? Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim, and your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competition or competitive cook-off. The level of theatrics with these two is off the charts. Step up and tell them you're on. A bit of lunchtime competition, eh? Count me in. If I have to wipe the tables with you fools before I set my lunch down on it, then so be it. I'm not the fool. You're the fool. Fool. Good one, Van Van. I like your gumption, Paul. I'll be watching your performance. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkle steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness. Now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sportsing court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least not until we turn on the timer. Just then, a huge light blasts you in the face, flashing the words "timer ready." That's what I'm talking about. Oh, I stand corrected. The hard way builds solidly a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case anyone was wondering. I hope its message lifts you to victory. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now is my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself. You had his chicken, and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day one, and you feeling you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. What temperature does water boil at? How would you have gotten into the school without knowing that? Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that enticing offer motivate you. You're going to need to season this chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. How many herbs? 11. You might not know all the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Tail wagging intensifies. Now that you got some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. What state of mind offers the most flavor? Vigilance? I don't know. What? I'm begging you to get it together. Get it? I'm a dog? It's never the wrong time for some dog jokes. Okay. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Now would be a great time. The energy, where does it come from? That's right. This is your shot. You're not going to miss it. Oh. You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. This is actually like stupid intense. What is the sound of a success? Sizzling. Okay. I guess silence was the answer. Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye. I believe in you. He's actually cheering you on, which would be awesome, except knowing that he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonfuls of gravy? Oh my god. All of those answers were about Colonel Sanders. What were you thinking? Get your mind back in the competition. You're stranded on a desert island with one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk. I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind. What does that have to do with crafting spectacular fried chicken and delicate baked biscuits? Woof woof. You're really struggling to keep up. The next station over, Ashley has already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into the stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Yikes. Bzzz. I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance utilized in a kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing the personal touch. You might not have any hands, but Paul does, and a good chef needs to be touching the dough to know when it's properly mixed. There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand into the mixer to rescue your dough before it's overmixed. Paul, no! But you're not fast enough. Your hand gets stuck, and it's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. What you often find is the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult. Everyone stop what you're doing right now. This battle is over. It can't be. I was so close to finishing my dish. Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on. Aw, that's too bad. And here I am with a completed dish ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. No, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two on account of Paul's injury. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops as he locks onto the dish. But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared? Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skipped straight to dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights, taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask Paul to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring this creamer of delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. Oh, that looks so fucking good. Inside, you'll find a delicate fried cheese croquette, atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream 2 ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry gelée? Gelée? Yeah. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed as he dips his fingers in the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you. As he places the sauce-covered finger into his lips, Ashley leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. Internalize the rage you feel. No, let's step in. You reach out with your apron to wipe the sauce off his glistening face. Colonel Sanders recoils and brushes you back. This goatee isn't just a fashion statement, it's also functional. I was saving that flavor for later. I mean, that's very true. Gotta get those flavor savers. Oh my god, that's actually a game over. Are you fucking kidding me? Colonel Sanders is kind of a whiny little bitch. You know? Okay, what did I choose last time? 11. Gratitude? The town. I don't even know what I chose there. I'm just kind of clicking through. Let's get through all this shit again. Internalize the rage you feel. I didn't want to go with the answer that I always do. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes that they burst into flames. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash. They fall off your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester. Perhaps forever. Whoever wrote this has the ridiculous, like, the over-exaggerated, ridiculous style of writing comedy. Very well done. Like, very, very well done. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you run for the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. Is that a euphemism? I'll never be a master chef. Failure is a part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well, then think again. I wasn't always a man you see before you, enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure. I was born that way. But I've walked the other paths and arrived at dead ends. I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I'll fill your fryer? Ugh. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together, which is true now, but it hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure. It's honest. It's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the spork monster. Okay. Gorko the spork monster is here to fight a hero. Is anyone else feeling a bit of deja vu? I'm sorry, Gorko, but I could have sworn we already battled you last night. That was Borko, my twin. And I, Gorko, am here to avenge them. Are you stronger than Borko? Well, we're twins, so no, not really. We're pretty much exactly equal in every way. Why do you ask? Colonel Sanders smirks. He's already on the same page as you. It's just that we beat Borko pretty easily, so I don't think you have much of a chance. Not to mention, I feel really guilty about that. If I could take it back, I would. I think what Paul is saying is, can't we just be friends? Life's too short for making enemies. I suppose we really don't need to fight. It's just that I've got these pointy teeth and claws. All the better for enjoying tasty foods. Surely you like to eat, don't we all? Of course I do. Inspiration strikes you and you come up with a quick idea. Chomp on this. You toss a biscuit into Gorko's open mouth and he devours it in one gulp. Delicious. You're much nicer than the evil students who once upon a time turned me into this creature who stands here today. I don't believe it. You were human once? Well, no. I was a chihuahua, but I was still a student at this school. Until one day some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. A magic spellbook? Precisely. Borko used to have a copy, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg of you, respect it. You're a powerful chef, and you shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear, I will be there. It sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Paul, together, I am sure we can defeat them. There's bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss? A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside Sanders' home surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. Not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to be paired with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps? Now you've got him where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation or keep it a secret just for you? Let's keep it a secret. Actually, I've said too much. Please forget I ever said anything. You can practically hear Colonel Sanders' heart beating in his chest. He tries to act demure, but his facade begins to crack. I can appreciate a good secret, of course. In fact, I've got many, nearly a dozen in my fried chicken recipe alone. But I would hope that you could learn to trust me with yours. Well, I suppose you did share a secret ingredient with me yesterday, so it'd be only fair. Colonel Sanders' face grows serious. Ah, yes, about that, you see. Yes, Colonel? I haven't been completely honest with you. The secret I told you was a fake. Oh no, the ingredient you shared with Miriam, it wasn't true? You're angry with Colonel Sanders for lying, but the fact that you revealed his secret shows that he was probably right to do so. You mean it wasn't one of the real 11 secret herbs and spices? You see, we had only just met. I had to make sure that you were trustworthy and capable of keeping my most important secret. To me, my recipes are priceless. Well, I have something to confess. That secret ingredient you told me, I shared it with Miriam, my bestie. I didn't, though. I made one up. Unfortunately, I already knew this. I was very disappointed, but now that you've come clean, we can start building our relationship as fellow chefs again. I promise to be honest from here on out. I really do. I'm counting on you. In that case, I present to you my original coleslaw. Oh, that weird green coleslaw that they serve. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' Lux hideaway. Magnificent. Together, you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. This must be where he keeps a secret recipe. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside it, you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor from goatee and mustache combo he sports. You figure this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of the company they founded. Am I right? Is this made by, like, an actual KFC person? Like, do you think that they okayed this? Or do you think that they just paid for somebody to do it, made somebody make sure there wasn't, like, any nudity in it, and then they, like, ignored all of the writing? You know? The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt? Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices? Tap on an item to learn more about the Colonel. Oh shit, he's coming. We have to learn about this giant cock. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting in the corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy must have been important to the Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." Tap on an item. What's this? A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of a comb. Upon further inspection, you realize the hair therein isn't just silvery in color. It's actually made of spun silver. A scented candle. You pick it up to try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of '69? No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's... Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. You take a closer look at a large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. You look closely and see there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Just then, the ghost of student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. It's... Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window, a crack, and the ghost of student is swept out with a breeze. Okay. They're playing that joke too much now. They lost its funniness. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he's been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. Aww. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say, it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket. You forgot to take it off. You fess up and tell the truth. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel. Yes, Paul. I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence. You wake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, isn't even legal, but if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Flatter. You know, I think we might make a great team. Single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school, after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay. But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but... There's an official KFC gaming Twitter. Oh, wow. You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered up with Pop, he asked me out to go out with him. Of course I told him, you'd better harness those wild horses, young man. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know the little guy. Long story short, he took me to his favorite shush house, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say shush house? As if that's a thing people just say? What is that even referring to? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Miriam tells you to move on from this whole Colonel Sanders obsession and focus on school. If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, you don't want to be right. After a short argument, you both agree to go your separate ways. Oh, okay, well. F that friendship, I suppose. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact, because you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dipped too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school? There's that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You got some nerve, Paul, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Paul, how's the hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back to fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday, I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say it was bland. Excuse me, Paul, I'm more than capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel? I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, Paul. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take up the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Uh-oh. Whoa, that's that book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It appeared to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful. I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell here. It says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. Oh, fuck. That is way drastic. Couldn't you, like, do something else? Like, anything else not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine. It is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Oh my god, chat. What do you think? What are we thinking? Dark magic or no balls? Does everybody else agree? Or is Homer going to ruin our... You hold your vote? You're thinking this is a bad game? It gives me an opportunity to try to... I don't know how often you guys have tried speaking straight for almost 2 hours. But yeah, it's starting to hurt my throat a little bit. Okay, let's cast a forbidden spell. You begin to recite the spell, but you stumble on the words, and the only effect it seems to have is to make you forget what it is you were doing. Well, okay. Oh, right. After looking at the page again, it comes rushing back to you. You got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you and a pretty good excuse to try it out. I wonder if this ever doesn't loop. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. You sleep softly as the morning sun casts a warm glow through the window of your modest student apartment. Oh, fuck. Did it really take me back to the beginning? Oh my god, it actually took me back to the beginning. Oh no. Homer. What did you do, Homer? All right. I can't believe it actually took us back to the beginning of the game. Actually pretty funny. Poo reset. So, I'm sure this is gonna be talked about on Top Down this week, and as funny as it is, this is definitely, not to like throw anybody under the bus, this is definitely, I think, a thing that Sean and I are gonna disagree on some stuff, where it's not even about the game so much, but the fact that like there's people don't recognize this as a fucking advertisement is ridiculous. I accidentally hit the wrong thing. I fucked up. Oh well, let's go. Honestly, the worst parts of this game are all the Colonel Sanders things. Everything that's related, it's almost like... Okay, hold on. It's almost as if, whoever made this actually just had, like, the basics done already, and then was selling the concept to different companies to see who would buy it or something. Like, the Colonel Sanders and, like, chicken stuff is all actually kind of shitty, when everything else is, oh, you know what? We're going to actually wow him here, I think. Instead of, get him all mad. Because, like, these side characters are quirky and cute, decent writing. The, antagonists are, like, the good standard rival antagonists. And like that's kind of their whole part or whatever. The dog thing is just, the dog teacher is just irreverent and kind of silly, but leads to some funny moments. Like every part of this game that's not good are the things related to KFC specifically. It's just so heavy-handed, you know? Also, they play too much, I think, into that joke about the student with no name that nobody like can remember or cares about. We're just getting back to the part where I was. I don't know if maybe you guys agree or not, but that's how I feel about it. Said all the things that make this worthwhile don't have anything to do with KFC and Colonel Sanders. I think we're getting there. The KFC stuff kind of sucks all the charm out of the room. I agree. I do agree. I mean, we're gonna do the pep. I don't know if like the pepper thing was important, but we're gonna do that again. I probably should have seen like a different outcome, but who cares? Okay, let's go. Come on. Also, I know this is like so petty, but like, why couldn't they let me choose my gender at the beginning of the game? You know? Like, don't even change the writing, I don't care, but why couldn't I have made my character just say like he and she or whatever when referring to me? Or they. Probably because it would like require the most minimalist modicum of any work ever. No, I didn't assume your pronoun. I literally just said this game doesn't let you choose what pronoun you want to be called. That is like the whole point of the conversation. Okay. I think we're almost back to where we were, right? Yeah, I think it was like right here. Man, that was hard to get back to. Don't do it. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the other students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you, it's nothing to be afraid of. Also, who's this in the background? That picture. Does anybody know? He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework to give him as a snack. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence, I told you never to come back here. Terrence, I will destroy you, Terrence. Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off his face. The squirrel looks over, but it doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again. But after Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professorial tone. Ahem. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Paul, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, But before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by sad whimpering coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class. But I miss you. We went on one date, Pop. How can you miss me when I'm right here? Pop's voice quivers as he pleads his case to Miriam. Every time I blink, you go away again. That's a really cute thing to say. Miriam, what happened between you and Pop? I got her in trouble and now she's mad at me. I didn't just get in trouble. I got yelled at by Pop's mother, who blames me for getting him banned from every museum we set foot in. Oh, so that's what you meant by shush house. Pop, we went on one date. We're over. And it meant so much to me that I made this for you. The fuck is that? Too hurt to go on arguing, Pop leaves his, creation behind and runs out of the room. He is a real romantic, it's true. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. We mustn't get distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam, TM. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me. Of course not. Well, maybe, sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend time before your exam. You decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent, and a chance to beat the pants off Van Van, the supposed man-man, and his evil-er counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you began to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on, Paul's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven, but as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Paul, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualized it, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who's hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. Fess up. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? Haha, no. I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules. That is, except to cook with everything you've got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe, registered, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out real cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash. Miriam fiercely injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend Baster Blaster. Van flexes his pectorals as he chops up a sea urchin. Let's rock and roid. Ashley scoops her pastries off the table or off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula. Even Clank gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? It's the singularity, as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him to the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spell book out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's most certainly evil magic? Do it the hard way, just like Colonel Sanders taught us. Who needs magic when you've got passion? Right. I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Paul. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever. You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. I'm so sick of reading. This is honestly why I hate doing visual novels. Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's a secret ingredient. The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. Oh no. The Eye of Newt. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. Oh no. It is I, Steve, the spork monster. Steve? Wait, what happened to Gorko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We spork monsters are many. I think Gorko had the day off, but you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh, hey. You're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spork Monster notices that you got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscrossed some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh? Huh, yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I'd love to. Always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long, involved story. You You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. It's kind of like that time in monster school I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up, you toss a serious stare at Steve and he takes the hint. Never mind. I'll tell you later. Good luck. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. Give up and drop out of culinary school. Wait. I almost want to pick that. I know it's just gonna say game over, but whatever. I can do this. I have what it takes. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for. Yes, Paul, you are the chosen one. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, hands are blah blah blah. Let's go. You begin to levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. But don't worry, dear Paul, you may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you've earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're going to need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects and that surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting if we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union? Time's up, students. With time expired, it's the moment everyone's been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop? Clank? From off screen, you hear a pure, innocent giggle that can only come from one student. Hey, I'm flying. It sounds like it's coming from that broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess, did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say, it's not the worst prank in UCSAL history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks. Clank! Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature word, beep, or other onomatopoeia, but there's nothing. Or there's none. Somehow you must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it's been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles in savory soup. It's so tiny. My word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny narutomaki I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, Chef. Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles. And some green tea made from some baby teen leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening its mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all by myself. In a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much. It was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured in as yours. Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, Paul, for helping me believe in myself. Van, you're up. Now describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an axe-hewn urchin shell, topped with caviar. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second, different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is my kind of brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose closed on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Woof, woof. Please. Oh, my throat is like raw. Please be gentle with my cuisine. Grrr. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first. He can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Youch, my tongue. The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified for glamour? Don't discount simplicity. This isn't the last you've heard of me. He turned into Mike Tyson. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkle graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know. Yeah, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student, Ashley. Time to step up. Now describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in light rosewater syrup topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food? At a cooking school? Got toast in your ears or something? I told you, it's a display piece. It is beautiful, however, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it, and had an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard, you might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, Ashley stormed off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step up together. Two chefs? What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing, and completely blow me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you get a pass. Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive, even Van and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. They were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete, everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment to get their groove on. Cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as a site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog is in the house. Ow, ow, ow. You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was a trick to you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. And now that everyone is together, it's a spork monster. He's totally mellowed out. Everyone, the spork monster is no more. From here on out, I prefer everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster. Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone's too wrapped up talking to spork. Sorry, Party Monster. Dejected, student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in cooking, and you know she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop. He arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see it perched atop his dirty chef's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing on the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of such and such. Miriam, will you be my lady king? What an incredible turn of events, an offer to join the royal family. It's like a dream come true. You'll get to be a princess, or maybe a queen. I'm not sure if he even knows, but either way, crowns and gowns, baby. I'm sorry, Pop, I'm not interested. Not now, at least. I've got so much to do with my life. A twist on a twist. So many more 3-day universities to attend. So many tiny foods to meticulously sculpt and watch get accidentally blown away by a single sneeze. Okie doke. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank who arrived late to the dance. Now that I've graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I'm Clank, I'm not of this earth, I'm actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I actually feel like I knew it this whole time. Now that I've learned your ways of your kind, I must return. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to give them... It's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. Still doing the going thing? What do you mean? This time it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in history of Chicken and Man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. No, it's not the end. I'm so done with this. I don't care. All right. That's I Love You, Colonel Sanders. The joke that lasted about an hour and a half longer than it should have. Also, that intro is not indicative of the final product. Okay, well, we're done. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna go soak my throat in every possible liquid I can find, so peace out.